What's up, folks? Sean, the Average Angler, coming at you with another grr. I dropped the phone. With another great video. And today we are back in the pool. And we've got some baits that you guys requested. I filled the pool up. I even bought a net so I was able to clean it of all the bugs. Not all of them, most of them, to hopefully not obstruct your view. And I did also tried something else. So you guys let me know if it worked. I don't want to tell you what I did, but you just tell me if the picture's better. And I'll kind of get an idea when I do the edit myself. But ultimately, you guys are the guys I'm trying to make happy with what we're doing here on the Average Angler channel. That said, if you like this kind of content, hit that subscribe button down there. It's free. Join the community. We got lots of learning to do around here. All of us together, because this is new to me too, guys, and I'm just sharing. So I am going to try and remember the sequence in which I threw what bait. And the first thing we did was the Phat Pak little Craw bait. This is a 2.8 Beastie Bug Junior. The name's kind of cut off in half there. But anyway, those of you that have been watching know I'm really high on Phat Pak. These baits have been phenomenal. This was no exception. I really like this on the Ned head. Just phenomenal bait on the Ned head. But let's take a look, see what it looks like on a nose hook drop shot. Right here. Craw drop shot. Nose hooked, by the way. Didn't take much to get a little action moving there. We got a little current moving in the pool, which is why you see it turning that way. Alright, I think it does pretty well. I like it on the Ned head a lot, but if I need a Craw style drop shot bait, this one works pretty good. Let's take a look at another. Alright, so what do you guys think? Think about it for a minute, gather your thoughts, and I'm going to tell you my opinion. Okay, you got it? Put it in the comments. Let's compare. So I like the bait. I'm not super high on creature baits or Craw style baits on a drop shot. Although I will tell you there is a time and a place for it. So it is necessary to have. And the next one I can tell you is really good in the springtime when the fish are spawning, post-spawn, that kind of thing, okay? And I'll tell you where I throw it. I wouldn't nose hook it where I throw it, but maybe your lake's a little different and the effect's gonna be the same. All right, so that said, I like the action. I think it's better on a Ned head. I mean, the Ned head, it really shined. And I think on a jig trailer, or as a jig trailer on a finesse jig, like the Bass Union finesse jig, I think it's going to be really good. Nonetheless, it still was good and shined, okay? All right, the next one we did, and this is the one I've used many times, is a Missile Baits Crawfather. It's a little longer bait, and it's got longer, thinner claw appendages. Let's take a look at the video, and we'll talk about it. Okay, this one is a Missile Baits Crawfather. I typically have Texas rigged this in the spring in Thule's and such. And we're going to take a look, see what it looks like on a nose hook. Little longer bait, but those tails, pinchers, whatever you want to call them, they do pretty good back there. Let's see what it does. It's going to lay all the way down. We get a little current over here. Not bad. It doesn't take much to get it rocking and rolling, but those tails don't do a lot unless you get her moving kind of up and down. Again, that's the Missile Baits Crawfather. Okay, how was that? Pretty good, pretty good. I just want to throw in here the Phat Pak Baits. In that craw come in a 10 count, 20 count, and I think 250 count. I buy the 20 counts. It's a good value. Their baits are good, so I know I'm going to use them, okay? Multi things, right? Trailers, net heads, now drop shot. The Crawfather, on the other hand, is 7 baits per pack, and I really use those seasonally, around the spawn. Spawn, post-spawn, all that kind of stuff, and that time is now. Now, I rigged it on a nose hook and was actually pretty impressed with the bait. It looked good in the water. But typically, I Texas rig it, and I'm throwing it back into tules, into likely spawning areas, okay? So you don't necessarily have to have tules. You can throw it into suspected spawning areas or to bedding fish if you can see them, whatever it may be. But that bait has proven to be very successful. As you saw in the water, it looked good. It works good from my experience. What more can you want? Now, is it a better buy? I don't really remember how much those cost. There's only 7 baits in a pack. I buy the 20 pack of these Phat Pak Baits. They are about $10 for 20. But when you go to the website, you can get 20% off. It's not an average angler discount. The guy doesn't know I exist. Just, I'm sharing with you. And they're good baits. Okay, so the next bait we did, by popular demand I might add, was the Reaction Innovations 4.95 Flirt Worm. And if you guys remember back to the shaky head one we did, and I used the 6.95, the Reaction Innovations Flirt Worm has incredible action. And today, on the drop shot, no exception, but let's go take a look, see for yourself. All right, well, what do you guys think of that? Okay, let's cover the specifics really quick. The 4.95 Flirt Worm color was juicy. 15 count. Okay, so you get 15 worms to a bag. Those are a good value. The Flirt Worm, we've determined long ago, is a really good value. And as you see in the pool, it has really, really good action. I mean, if you're moving that thing around, that thing, it is lively. There's only one thing that I've seen maybe more lively, and that's really debatable, but they're different because the Flirt Worm is a sinking bait. It will sink on a hook by itself and lay flat on the bottom, as you saw in the video. Our next worm stands up. So let's take a look at the next one, and then we'll talk about it. All right, next we have Phat Pak Baits, 6-inch thin worm. much like on the shaky head, this worm gets lively. So I know a bunch of you have already ordered some of these Phat Paks, but here's just another reason to do it. I mean, the worm just works for everything. You can see the dancing action on there is phenomenal. Drop her to the bottom, she's gonna stand up. Looks really good there. All right, what did you guys think of that? Do you know what worm it was? You probably do because I showed it at the beginning of the video. It is a Phat Pak Baits thin worm. That's a 6-inch. Color on that one was green pumpkin candy. Again, extremely well done colors, guys. I mean, they do a phenomenal job with their colors. And I'll tell you, the flake is, I don't know if it's fine, ultra fine, but it's way smaller than the Reaction Innovations. So to me, it just seems a little more subtle, which I actually like because I've seen a lot of baits that seem gaudy. Now, talking about the action, I'm gonna have to go back and watch the video really to decide which was more lively between the Phat Pak and the Reaction Innovations, because I really can't recall. They were both very lively, maybe a little bit different in the way they moved. I believe they are. Now, the Phat Pak come in different bags. I believe the thin worm, which is the 6-inch thin here that we tested, I believe that comes in a 15, 30 pack and 250 or something. Again, the 30 pack's about 10 bucks, great value. Can be used on multiple rigs again. Today we're talking about the drop shot, but it performed extremely well on the shaky head. I believe it would be a great bait on a Ned head. We haven't done that one, but I'm pretty sure that's going to be a really, really good one on a net head. All right, last worm we did today. Actually, I screwed up the order, but you won't know because I'll correct it in editing. Was the Yum Finesse worm. It says shaky head, drop shot, Texas rig, Carolina rig. I'm going to add Ned rig. This is a Yum 4. Doesn't mean 4-inch, by the way. Yum 4 Finesse worm. In green pumpkin, purple flake. 12 count to a pack. If I remember right, these are about $3.99. So let's go take a look, and then we'll talk. All right, next up we've got the Yum, whoops, I'm dipping it in the water. The Yum Finesse worm on the nose hook drop shot. And that one looks like it's going to be a floater. Good movement on that worm, just like on the shaky head. And they also make a Magnum. I think Glock had said something about he had some of the Magnums in their floaters. As you can see, it is a floater. So good action, sits nice and level in the water. Yum, good colors, and they got scent. All right. What do you guys think? Put it in the comment down there. Pause the video, put it in the comment so there's no cheating here. And then let's talk about it. All right, you ready for my take? I continue to be impressed with Yum. High value bait, performs very well. The worms are scented. I forgot what they call it. Yum juice. Used to be something else, but I think it's called Yum Bite Juice or something. Blend of enzymes and natural attractants proven to trigger a feeding response. Yeah, I've always liked Yum. You saw it move in the pool. It's not as lively as the other two worms by any means. There's also a time and place for something more subtle, and that's about adjusting. Sometimes we need to figure out which one they want. Sometimes they want that real lively one. Sometimes they want the more subtle one. Let's call it a little slower and less rebound. As you moved it, it would solidify itself much quicker than the other two, and it didn't flex near as drastically as the Flirt Worm and the Thin Worm. Those two worms, I believe, are kind of in a league of their own. The Robo Worm didn't do that. I don't recall having another worm that moved quite like those two. Yeah, I can't recall one. So pretty impressive stuff. Again, eye-opening. I've already kind of made a decision on baits that I'm going to start employing more in my arsenal. The Flirt Worm has been there for years, and it will not be replaced, but the Phat Pak Baits has definitely found a place in my arsenal. It's going to be very high up on that priority list, if you will, because it does amazing things, and you don't have to do a lot to it to get it to do work for you. And that is a great thing as a fisherman, to get such a responsiveness out of a bait to do things for you. What do I mean by that? Well, think about it. You can shake slack in your line, or you can hop the bait. You're going to get two completely different types of reactions from the bait itself. In a bait that moves a lot, those two baits were the Phat Pak's Thin Worm and the Reaction Innovations Flirt. Both of those baits were very, very lively. We can do a whole lot with them. And quite honestly, I think if you're limited on the amount of stuff you can afford or that you can carry, either one of those would be great choices. I'm Sean, the Average Angler. Thanks for watching. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you thought. I think it's a great video. I'm also the producer. We'll see you on the next one.